Hello, everybody. My name is James McIntosh, and welcome to our first live commentary of the new season, where Gosport take on local rival Sholing in the early Boxing Day clash. Gosport will be hoping for a similar result to the 4-0 victory against Walton and Hersham last week, whereas Sholing will be hoping for their first win within 4 games, with their last win coming on the 2nd of December against Basingstoke. But let me run you through both sets of teams, starting with our visitors. So starting in goal for Sholing is Ryan Gosney, number 2 Bradley Target, number 3 Marvin McLean, 4 Owen Randall Prince, 5 Daniel Miller, 6 Brian Mason, 7 Charlie Davis, 8 Keen Anderson, 9 Daniel Mason, 10 Jake Hesketh, and 11 Carlos Gregory. And now your Borough team for today. Starting in goalkeeper, number 1 Toby Stewart, number 2 Harry Kavanagh, number 5, Harry Medway. And our new signing for today, number 15, Joe Morrison. We've also got 18, Samuel Hookey, he came in for our game against Walton and Hersham. Really impressed, and now he starts today. Partnering in the midfield is 19, Danny Hollins. Number 7 is Bradley Tarbuck. 8 is Harvey Rue. 9, our main striker and our captain today, Daniel Wooden. Number 10, Antonio Diaz. And fellow striker is 11, Jake Scrimshaw. The players are just walking out at the moment. Gosport playing in the blue and Sholing playing in the red and white, mimicking the famous derby of Pompey versus Southampton today. And what a clash we have on for you today. Massive one to start off this live commentary. But let me know in the comments what you think this game's going to end up with, and hopefully going to be a good game to kick off this new live commentary. But I know it should be a good game today. Actually, you may even recognise a couple of the players in this Sholing team. And you actually may remember our last game against Sholing earlier this season. And we actually won 3-0 against Sholing, thanks to goals from Alex Barser, Dan Wooden, and Antonio Diaz, all starting in today's lineup. You may also recognise Sholing manager Paul Dowswell. He's had a lot of experience with the leagues above, most notable for recently coaching Hammond and Waterlooville and even Sutton. So a lot of experience in the Sholing side today. But can this Gosport team get another win? Well, hopefully so. And you've also got a couple other games at the 12:30 kickoff. And the other games, we'll keep you updated with all these games. But we've got Beaconsfield versus Chesham, Didcot versus Hungerford, and our kickoff today, Gosport versus Sholing at 12:30. But no, it's looking like a good kickoff today. And it is the early kickoff as it's a Boxing Day. So we hope you all enjoyed your Christmas and hopefully another early Christmas present today. But yeah, it should be a good game all in all.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Boxing Day football, local derby day, Gosport Borough versus Sholing in the Southern Premier Division.
And you may not have heard, but I'll run through the Gosport lineup again for those who've just joined in. So in goal, we've got Toby Stewart. In defence, we've got Harry Kavanagh, Medway, Joseph Morrison, and Samuel Hookey. Midfield, we've got Daniel Hollins and Bradley Tarbuck. Harvey Rue, Dan Woodin, our captain. Number 10, Antonio Diaz, and 11, Jake Scrimshaw. And in a minute, I'll get my co-commentator on, Jeremy Fox, he's our vice president and he does all the voiceovers. So, Jeremy, it looks as though it's going to be a good game today, but what are you hoping for?
The Gosport Borough fan in me says a win, but generally speaking, I just want it to be a good game. I think you never get a bad game between these two teams ever because there's a lot of history, good history between them. And there's a lot of players that know each other on either side. So what you're going to get is a game where there's very few surprises. I think it being a local derby, there's going to be a lot of blood and guts. It's the old saying I would use. But I think what I just want is a good game.
Yes,
that'd be it.
Well, it looks as though the fans, we've got a lot of fans in today. What are you expecting today? 700, 800?
Hopefully 7 to 8. I don't think we've got too many more than that. I think that would be really good for Boxing Day because people are still with their families or they might be away visiting somebody. So to get that would be very, very good.
Well, I'm sure all the Gosport fans will be hoping for a similar result to what we got against Walton and Hersham, a 4-0. But Sholing, they do have some good players in today's starting lineup. Who's ones to watch out for? Because I've heard the Masons are meant to be quite good.
Yeah, the Mason boys, they are legends to Sholing fans because of their longevity at the club. Dan up front and, of course, Byron, the captain. They've been there longer than I can remember. And also in the summer, Jake Hesketh, the big signing for them. At the back, ex-Borough player Owen Randall. Yeah, they're sort of the ones to watch.
Yeah, well, we've just kicked off here at Privet Park. And it's Gosport shooting from my left to right. No, sorry, my right to left. But yeah, so like Jeremy says, hopefully it should be a good game. And I'm sure we're in store for a good game today. And it's actually shown on the far side taking an early throw. And Gosport, you can just see an early press it. Samuel Hookie, a player I'm sure not many players were actually expecting to start today. He started our last game against Walton and Hersham, but hasn't had too much game time this season. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he can bring to this side today. Got a couple of assists last week. But yeah, hopefully he'll be a good one. So you've currently got number 2, Bradley Tarbuck on the ball, just down the near touchline. And here's the captain, Brian Mason, just taking a throw, a free kick. Playing it to number 11 in Gregory. But it's intercepted by Dan Wooden. Dan Wooden with the ball. Now through to Diaz, but Diaz loses the ball to number 5, Dan Miller. But yeah, like Jeremy said, we do have a couple of players I'm sure you all do know. And actually, we do have a couple of ex-Borough players in this starting Sholing 11 today. So I'm sure they'll get a warm reception today.
2 of them.
Yeah, we got 2 of them today, yeah. And we did see a similar case to, I've forgotten the game, I think it was Basingstoke. They had a couple of ex-Borough players. But with this league, you do see players skim over a couple clubs. So we've had a couple of people leave this season. So we've had Johnny Fedji, our most recent signing, who's left. But we've also brought in some new boys. Joe Morrison looks to impress and had a very good game. But Sholing are currently on the attack with Bradley Tarbuck in the right-hand channel. Tarbuck with a charge down, but Target gets past him. Target looking for the pass, and he will find 8, who lines up a shot, but has it blocked. But the referee doesn't like something, and he does blow up for a free kick.
Yeah, not quite sure what he saw there, James, to be honest. But
Yeah.
he's just got 1 or 2 things to sort out by the look of it. But yeah, good move from Sholing up to that point. I think that was their first real sort of inroads to our defence. And
well, they're looking quite deadly down this right-hand channel, aren't they, with Target?
Target's a useful player, always has been. And they don't really want to afford him that amount of space. He's got about at least 10 yards out there. So watch out for him in a minute when they play the set piece.
And it looks as though it will be Jake Hesketh with the free kick. I'm not sure if he's going to take a shot from there. Doesn't look like it.
No, and he's doing exactly what I thought he would.
Playing it out to Target.
Yeah.
And it's yet again Target. And he tries to put it across, and he does find Mason. Mason playing it back to Target in the 1-2. And Target does put a ball into the middle. And 7 is fouled. Sholing fans calling for a penalty, but the referee disagrees. And it will stay in Sholing possession here. And it is played all the way back to Dan Miller. And that's well called by Kavanagh. But yet again, still in the red and white possession. Dan Wooden this time with a charge down. Oh, and their goalkeeper just nearly made a mistake with Dan Wooden putting plenty of pressure on. And we saw it against Walton and Hersham last week. Dan Wooden put plenty of pressure on that Walton defence, and it did eventually cave. Will we see something similar today involving the defence, Jeremy?
They carry on doing that, you will, I think, because the keeper just 2 or 3 seconds too slow there, just got caught in 2 minds, and Dan could have easily taken advantage. Going back to the incident at the other end, not a penalty for me, no way, but it was a really good opportunity, and I'm surprised that didn't go in, to be fair.
Well, it looks as though Borough need to wake up a bit more, need a bit more attacking threat. But we saw it similar performance in the Walton and Hersham game. First 5 minutes, we didn't really start strongly, but once the goals started coming in, they started flying, and that's what we need today. We just need to start getting our chances together. And I think it's something Borough have always lacked with this season. Struggled to have plenty of chances in the last couple of games.
I think what they do is they're slow starters. I think that's the thing. Sometimes they've been found out, sometimes they haven't. But that's why, mainly, I think they're a second half side.
Well, Tarbuck has just won a ball in this left-hand channel, and he is looking for Dan Wooden. But Mason clears it out. But it's not very good clearances, in my find, yes. But no, it's well cut out by Owen Randall Prince, and he does clear it out for a Borough throw-in. It's going to be Harry Kavanagh with a short throw in to Diaz. Passing it back to his fellow defender. Diaz. To Hollands. Hollands finding Rue. Just trying with that overlap pass, but instead finds Jake Scrimshaw. Tarbuck. To Hollands. Scrimshaw. And that's a good pass into Tarbuck. Good movement here from the Borough team. And Tarbuck with a crossing, hoping to find Dan Wooden, but it's cleared out. Only as far as Sam Hookie, who headers it back in the box before eventually being cleared. And it might work its way to Mason. A tug from Morrison, but referee says play on. And now it's down the other side of the pitch with Marvin McLean. And Marvin McLean, fan favourite with the Sholing fans.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah.
And another one who's been there for a long, long time.
Well, Marvin became the club record appearance holder when he surpassed 650 appearances in August 2019. So a lot of appearances. And you see this a lot with this Sholing team. A lot of players have been there for a couple of years.
And I'll tell you why, because of one man who sat in the director's box just below us, Dave Diper, who only just resigned as manager to sort of go upstairs, if you like. But he is a legend of managers as well, because he's had 900 plus appearances as manager, so it just runs all the way through. They're a very family-orientated club, Sholing, James.
Yeah.
Right, I think there's a change happening here.
Yeah, it does look as though it will be an early change. I can't see who's on the floor at the moment. It's number 5, and it's Dan Miller. Yeah, so it will be an early change, and that will be a bad, a sight I'm sure Sholing fans won't want to see. Dan, a very dominant centre half, came through the youth system with Sholing and has gone on to play over 400 times for the red and white team. Yeah, something you don't really want to see, but it just gives the players a bit of time to have a break. And yeah, you can just see he's in discomfort there, just laying on the ground.
Didn't see the incident there, James. They're just waiting to see who they're going to line up as his replacement. But didn't see the incident. But he's in a lot of trouble. He's in a lot of distress there. So hopefully he's not too badly hurt and he'll recover quickly.
Well, I was saying to the viewers, it could be quite a big miss. I'm not sure this Sholing bench has a lot of power on this bench, especially involving the defence.
Change coming, but we just need to see who it is.
But yeah, so Dan Miller, he's been with the club since 18 years old, played over 400 times. And yeah, he's only been booked a handful of times. He's quite a good defender in that aspect. Very often, he's good at sliding challenges, often wins. And he's actually been quite good in this early start of the game. And we can now confirm it will be Robert Flukes replacing the defender.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sholing substitution coming on number 16, Rob Flukes, replacing number 5, Dan Miller.
Rob Flukes, actually nicknamed Flukesy, and started out with the Boatsmen, coming through the ranks at a Sholing Academy. Played as a central defence with Winchester and Totton. So yeah, he's definitely got a lot of experience, this substitute.
Yeah, and also another ex-Borough boy. We've had him here on 2 occasions. But yeah, Flukes has been around the circuit for a while. Yes, it looks as though Miller's holding his groin, so it looks as though he's pulled his groin a bit, but in a lot of pain. Yeah,
definitely a tough one to take for the Sholing side. And let's see how this new substitute actually gets on.
I think he'll be very assured, to be fair. He's played at this level long enough. Tottenham, Winchester City, here. He's been around the block a bit in the nicest possible way.
Yeah. Well, it looks as though he's going to be playing in the left-hand channel, probably marking Scrimshaw, I would imagine, around that bit. But it is Sholing who's won back the possession, only for a bit, because Danny Hollins has won it back for Gosport. Dan Wooden trying to find Jake Scrimshaw. And can Jake Scrimshaw win this pace battle? Yes, he can. And he's looking for that pass backwards to Bradley Tarbuck, but instead he's going to keep hold of the ball. Jake Scrimshaw passing it back to Medway. And now it's passed back to the new boy, Joe Morrison. And that's a very good signing Gosport have made with Joe Morrison. Had a very good stint with Beaconsfield and actually won their Player of the Month. I recently had an interview with Joe, and he said he does want to progress through the ranks and does want to push through leagues. And is this a good club to do it?
Yep, I noticed. I did listen to that. He's a man of few words, isn't he? But he made his answers count.
Exactly.
Like so yeah, he's very determined.
Well, Gosport on the attack again, but only for a bit as it was cut out. Now Target with the ball again. Can Hookie win it back? He is brought down to the floor, and the referee does blow up for a Gosport free kick. Samuel Hookie actually having quite a good game, despite not having much game time this season.
No, but he's come through the centre of excellence, and so he was very much a member of the FA Youth Cup side last year. That went to the first round proper. Got a lot of experience at that level. I think this is a natural progression for him, and a good game to see him in today.
Yeah.
Referee's being a little. What's he up to here? I think it's
and he's just. I think he could be given a yellow card to Paul Duswell.
Yes, he has put the manager. Yes, Paul I've known for 25 years. Very good manager. Managed at the highest level with Eastleigh, Sutton United, Havant and Waterlooville.
Well, I think
knows his stuff.
That's what he's probably best known for. His stint at Havant and Waterlooville. Unlucky not to get promotion with them, but another team who's not having a brilliant start to the season.
Oh, hang on. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sense of what but he's having a word with Tarbuck. But now what's he doing? Is he changing his mind?
Oh, he's just having a laugh. But yeah, I'm not sure what really went on there.
No, that's
Bit of a strange decision.
I'm not going to get to the bottom of that. But Paul, yeah, nice guy, very experienced at this level and about 2 above.
Yeah, definitely. Very good replacement from their previous manager.
Dave, yeah, I've got so much time for Dave Dykler, and Paul does well too. That was a brilliant replacement for him. Now, the referee is getting a little over fussy for me, James.
Yeah, he seems to be blown up for a lot of challenges. I wonder if he's one of these types of refs that do like to book up and they won't take any rubbish.
It's a balancing act with refs because I've got a lot of time for referees, but it's a real balancing act, especially in the first 10 to 15 minutes when you're trying to officiate the game your way. Do you show lots of yellows or do you try to use your man management skills?
Well, we've definitely seen some questionable refereeing this season. Maybe that Welling game particularly. But it's a Gosport free kick and it's just hit too hard as Gosney comes out to collect it. And Gosney, another good player for the Sholing 11, played for Sholing a number of years now and actually was a big part of their FA Vars fin.
Yeah, that was about 10 years ago. They went to Wembley and won the tournament, and as did we in the same season.
Well, Jeremy, I'm going to have to cut you out as targets might be through on goal. He's lining up a shot, but instead passes it. Oh, and it is actually cleared out by Medway. And that's a good bit of defending there from Harry Medway. And it's that target yet again causing damage in this right-hand channel.
They're giving him too much room, though, James. They're going to have to learn that lesson quite quickly.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's Tarbuck, really. Tarbuck's playing this full-back winger role. Do you think it suits him, or is he more of an attacker?
I think he's very versatile, to be fair. But the only concern is that when he's pushing forward and target gets away from him, he's got all the room in the world.
Yeah.
To watch that.
Well, it's going to be Kavanagh trying to keep it in, but he just lets it roll out, and it will be a Sholing goal kick. And currently, some of the other scores on the doors. Beaconsfield are currently 0-0 against Cheshire, and that's a big game we'll be looking out for again today, Cheshire versus Beaconsfield. Do you think Beaconsfield can pick up a result today?
Local derbies, anything's possible, especially on Boxing Day. You've got all the local derbies, and the form book does go out the window, so anything can happen, seriously.
Yeah, well, we will be hoping they drop points today. Salisbury dropped points last week against Hungerford, so it's just a game we really need to pick up points in this promotion battle.
Ideally. And also Salisbury and Hungerford had a big turnover of players. One signed the other, and there was a lot of crossover. So know each other quite well. So that doesn't necessarily surprise me as it might other people.
And Sholing currently playing it out from the back, but Dan Wooden puts pressure on as the goalkeeper falls over. Diaz lines up a shot, and it's Four who clears it off. Owen Randall Prince. And it will be a Gosport corner. And yet again, it's just from this Gosport heavy possession. Dan Wooding causing the initial mistake, and then Diaz following up with a shot. Prince clearing it off the line.
Keeper's indecisive again, isn't he?
Very.
Yeah, and that could have easily been 1-0.
Close from Borough, and that's probably the biggest chance of the game so far. But can Borough make anything of the corner?
I don't think so.
I've heard a couple of yeses in the press box. Harvey Rue with a corner. Oh, Gosport players are actually claiming it took a hand, but I'm not sure.
No. You appeal for them, but I don't think they had a shout there.
And it's Kavanagh with a lifted ball. He does find Dan Wooden, but Dan Wooden can't get a good enough header. And instead, 10 can win at Hesketh. And Danny Hollins tries to intercept it, but unable to. And it's good passing from Sholing. Target yet again. But that's a good challenge by Harry Medway to bring it back.
Actually,
Yeah, got the ball fully there. And even Target wasn't complaining about it.
It was one of those where if you get it a foot wrong, that's a foul. And he's clean through. So, potential yellow card. But yeah, absolutely perfectly timed. Loved it.
Well, unfortunately, we did just lose the ball due to a poor pass. And Sholing have one back possession. Only for Harvey Rue to win it back for Gosport. Sam Hookey to Dan Wooden. Medway losing the ball, and he's going to let it run through to Toby Stewart. Good keeping from Stewart there. Tarbuck finding Scrimshaw. Lifted back up for Tarbuck. Tarbuck putting an error ball into Dan Wooden, who tries to head it back for Harvey Rue. But instead, Sholing win it back. Hookey with a header. And yet again, headed out by the substitute, Flux. And it's Hesketh. And Hesketh, yeah, a very experienced player as well. Another big boy, but I think he's had a lot more experience with the leagues above.
Yes.
So big purchase for Sholing.
Absolutely, he was a big money signing in the summer, and he has had experience at Eastleigh and a lot of other higher level clubs. So really good capture for Sholing.
Well, here's an interesting fact. He actually started a UEFA Cup tie for Saints.
Yeah,
Done a lot of good work with MK Dons. So yeah, a big player for this level.
absolutely. And you are finding now that a lot of players who have done things at higher levels are filtering down now, and that can only be good for the level we're playing at.
Exactly, yeah. Well, one of our big boys is actually Danny Hollands. Had a lot of experience with the leagues above, but he's starting to age a bit now. So
well, everyone gets to the end of their career, but there's another case in point with Danny. You know, he's played for sort of Eastleigh, Portsmouth, and he's now playing at our level, and all that experience is being brought to bear.
Well, he's definitely been one of our player of the seasons this season. I think he's been really our rock in midfield because when Harvey Rue was out, he was the main man.
But what he also does, let's watch this first.
Yeah, well, it's Gospel on attack with Harvey Rue, putting a cross in, but it's nicked out by Mason.
Offside.
And the offside flag does raise up.
What I was going to say is that what he does do is he calms the younger players down in the heat of battle out there. A presence like that just calms the youngsters down, and that's obviously what Hesketh will be doing for Sholing as well, because they've got some young players too. So that's what that experience brings, just a calmness.
Well, especially with this Gosport lineup, a very young team.
Yeah, if you look at it, yes, on balance, yeah.
And it is Sholing back on the attack, but it's well collected. Can Diaz win this ball? Nope. Instead, Levin wins it with Gregory. Cleared out. Hookie now on the ball. Wooden just trying to find a Gosport body, but instead returns back to Sholing possession. Target. Oh, still got hold of the ball.
Drifting in field a little bit now.
Yeah. And it's played out wide to number 3 in. And it's deep ball into the box.
Yeah,
and I think
this is waiting to strike there. He had this poise ready to sort of try and get on the end of that.
Close, but not close enough.
Yeah, but no, there's a lot of sort of change of possession. A lot of teams are giving it away in the midfield at the moment, but then that's typical of a game like this, a derby like this.
Well, it's been quite a feisty start during this game, actually. A lot of good chances for both teams.
Yeah.
But we noticed Sholing, probably they're finding their best play through the wings, I would say, trying to lift balls into the centre of the Borough box. Whereas
feisty, but not heated is how I like it. That's how I like a local derby. And I've seen a few white hot ones down the years. But yes, I think both sides are trying to exploit the wide areas, obviously, particularly with Target down this right-hand side for Sholing, a Tarbuck on the opposing side.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure as the teams figure each other out, there'll be a few tweaks to the tactics, but at the moment, that's how they're trying to persevere.
Well, we've noticed a similar case with Jake Scrimshaw, actually. Normally a striker, but he's kind of converted to the swinger role since Fulton and Hersham, and it looks as though it is working for him.
And there he is now. Look,
and Tarbuck does find Dan Wooden. Dan Wooden trying to take it past the goalkeeper, but instead finds the side netting, thanks to a vital touch from Gosney there. And it will be a Gosport corner. And this is what we want to see, isn't it, from this Gosport side?
Yeah, Wooden's looking sharp today. That's what I like to see. And there's a lot of help for him up there as well. But that could have easily been 1-0. Just a touch there off the goalkeeper to set it for the corner.
Well, we'll be Kavanagh with this corner. And a lot of good players in the middle of the box for this corner. We've got Joe Morrison, the new boy. Danny Hollands. A lot of tall players.
That's what you want, though. You want your big boys coming up from the back to help out.
Definitely. And it will be Kavanagh. And he does take the long corner, hoping to find Dan Wooden, but unable to. Jake Scrimshaw now on the ball, striding forward. But it's well cut out by Marvin McLean, who is brought down to the floor.
Wanted too much time and then fouled the opposing player, so a bit sloppy there. He'll be disappointed with that, I think.
Marvin McLean just on the floor here, but I don't think it looks anything too serious.
No. He caught him, but it wasn't malicious. But I think the referee might want a word, though.
A potential booking?
Yeah, booked.
And it does look as though Jake Scrimshaw will be the first player in this game to go into the rest book as he gets a yellow card. Now he needs to be careful for the rest of the game.
That's it. He's going to be walking that tightrope. Slightly harsh for me because, yes, it's a foul. Yes, he caught him. But was there intent? Don't think so.
Well, Jake needs to be very careful now. We've seen a couple of red cards this season for both sets of teams. We saw one in our last game against Fulton and Hersham for another not really that bad of a foul. Seems as though refs are giving red cards quite easy this season.
I think it's what they're instructed to do because obviously at the start of each season, the referees are given guidelines from the FA and from FIFA and they've got to carry them out. Doesn't matter how petty it might seem. If they don't do it, then there's an assessor sat in the stand.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, they're all looking for the promotion at the moment, aren't they? To try and get to the bigger leagues, really.
They've got to do as they're told, and they've got to apply the laws as they're told to do it.
And it's probably why we're seeing so much added time in games at the moment. We've
Yes,
seen
big
it
change.
filter through the leagues, but now we're seeing it in the Southern Premier Leagues.
We started to see it in the World Cup last year, I thought,
Yeah.
and then it's filtered down. I think the Welling game was a case in point for us this year. The first game here, I think it was like 9 minutes.
Yeah, 9 minutes added on. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, we conceded.
Yes.
There was another game. We went for a real patch where we kept conceding in the last minute of games. Wasn't our finest, but it looks as though we're not doing so bad in the last minutes now.
Yeah, you're
We've had a
right.
couple of late winners.
You're right. We had a little spell where it cost us, and then we've had a couple of games where it's actually gone in our favour.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've got to manage the game. You know if there's going to be more time added on in previous years, make the most of it.
And then Toby Stewart being a lifeline this season. Hopefully another player we'll be seeing until after the new year.
Do hope
Only
so.
a loan signing, but pulled off a phenomenal save against Walton and Hersham last week. I'm not sure if you saw on the highlights.
I did. It was outrageous, but it was brilliant. No, but he's actually had an England training camp.
Yeah,
hasn't he? So
he has.
Deservedly.
One for the future, especially with Pompey. Got a couple of young goalkeepers with Joshua Liwemi. I think their sub-goalkeeper didn't have the greatest of times in the FA Cup against Wimbledon, but
Sholing player down. Not quite sure what happened there. I think it was he just got
Yeah.
caught, but it wasn't a foul.
and I think it is Jay Kesketh on the floor.
Does look like a ref's using his stopwatch to time.
Yeah.
I saw
Just
him go for his watch.
trying to make sense of that incident. I think maybe he just collided with Tarbuck. I
Yeah,
don't think it was a foul per se, but the two tangled. He's gone down and come off worst.
looked like a mix of legs really come together. Bit of a clash, but nothing malicious involved with it.
No, not at all.
Yeah, Sholing have had quite a few injuries this first half, actually. Need to make sure they don't get through all the subs already. Well, the Borough substitute bench isn't really looking the heaviest at the moment, is it?
No, you've got a couple of injuries. Don't forget, Rory Williams is going to be out for the foreseeable, as is
Charlie Phasma. Yeah.
and we've got Rafa away for Christmas. There's a couple missing. Barca's away, so it's looking a little bit light. But then if you look at it, you've still got some decent players
Yeah.
there,
Well-
like one Billy Bassari.
I was going to say, I think the big name that really jumps out is Billy Passari. You would have fond memories of him, I'm sure. Came to Haventon Waterlooville last season, but jumped back down to Gosport. Why do you think this is?
I think he hasn't had much game time at the Hawks this year. He went there to try his hand at the National South. Hasn't really. Let's just see if he's off or is he just coming off to go back on. But yeah.
Oh, it does look as though the board is out. Sorry, yeah.
Substitution.
And I can't see who's currently coming on. Oh, it will be Hesker for Jake Cope. Oh, and that will be a big miss for the Sholing side. Another substitute in the
Ladies
early
and gentlemen,
minutes.
Substitution for Sholing, coming on number 14, Jake Cope, replacing number 10, Jake Hesketh.
Yeah, another big loss then for Sholing.
That's massive loss
Yeah.
for them, absolutely. But it sort of seems to be that sort of game. But we've seen Gosport lose 2 or 3 injured inside 45 minutes. It's unfortunate and unlucky, but Sholing do have strength and depth. Cope's another one who is unlucky not to be starting today, in my opinion. So, we'll have to see how it goes for them from here.
Yeah, definitely. Because Sholing's form, it hasn't been the best recently. 8 points in the last 8 games and only 5 goals in the last 8 games. Not really great form, is it?
No, but then you can never discount them because of the squad they've got, and I think that's a squad that's in transition. Paul Doswell in his first full season. You watch what happens next year.
Yeah. But it's cut out.
Cliff's in the house.
That's good.
He's not got
Can
a-
Gosport win it back through Danny Hollins? And he does nod it down to Antonio Diaz.
Has he got his-
Diaz striding forward, passing it out wide to Kavanagh. Kavanagh looking for that ball in the middle of the box, and he will try and find a through ball, just narrowly missing down Wooden. And this is what you want to see.
And I tell you what, he'll be a good one for James to get.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Cliff's been doing it for years and years and years.
It's a bit late though. 24 minutes in.
Now Gosney, just playing it out from the back. Taking his time now.
Good to see you.
Out wide to McLean, previously on the floor, but sprinted back up, trying to get it through to Mason. Cut back out by Joe Morrison. Kavanagh, finding down Wooden. Now passing it back to Medway. Out wide to Tarbuck. Scrimshaw. Medway. Yeah, but like I said before about the recent form, Gosport probably been on the better form recently. 10 points in the last 6 games, and also 10 goals in the last 6 games. So we've definitely got this attacking presence in our team. And yeah, we are starting to come together now. Like Jeremy mentioned earlier, we are probably a bit more of a second half team, but hopefully we can find our attacking form. As Jake Scrimshaw finds Dan Woodin in the box. Oh, but Dan Woodin he can't get on hold of the ball. Unlucky there, really unlucky actually. And instead, 16 with Flukes actually takes it forward to Tar.
No, it's because they couldn't get the yellow kit done in time.
And that's a ball played through to Mason, but Joe Morrison does well to win it back, and he is pushed to the floor there, and I think that will be a Gosport foul, and the foul is actually taken quick through the free kick. Kavanagh to Diaz. Wooden just actually playing a quite an audacious through ball, and he might actually find Kavanagh, but instead Gosney comes out to clear it, and that's good positioning there from the goalkeeper, just to win it back for Sholing, making sure Wooden can't convert anything with the ball. And it will be a Gosport throw-in down the other side of my pitch, near the Harry Mitson stand. Currently the score is 0-0.
In which game?
The Gosport game. Currently, a couple of people asking for the game.
Oh, okay.
But some of the other scores on the door: Beaconsfield still 0-0 to Chesham, and Didcot still 0-0 to Hungerford.
Good for
Maybe a
them.
bit of a surprise. You would have thought Hungerford maybe found a bit of form recently.
Well, again, like I said a little while ago, derbies, they're strange creatures at the best of times, and you do see some strange results come out. But Hungerford, with a lot of experience, I think I would fancy them to find their way through. But then so did we against Didcot 2 weeks ago. Didn't happen.
And it will be a free kick. Harry Kavanagh and Harvey Rue actually lining it up. Let's see if Gosport can actually make anything of this free kick. Kavanagh just treading over the ball, and instead Rue takes it. I think it was just Diaz trying to hit it backwards there, trying to find a Gosport bird, but it didn't really work there, did it?
No, I think he'll be disappointed with the delivery there. It wasn't. I could see the idea, but poorly executed.
Well, something I'm sure they worked on training. I'm not sure if you remember the free kick Harvey Rue did against AFC Portchester.
Oh, do I?
Apparently, it's something they never worked on the training grounds.
Yeah, but didn't that work? For me, that's up there for a goal of the season contender, without a doubt. The way he just hit that, and it was never going anywhere else.
Oh, 100%. And the ball actually worked all the way back to Toby Stewart. I think Stewart just going to take his time there. Let Borough reformation. And you can see here Bradley Tarbuck coming a bit more centre, and Toby will actually find Tarbuck. Kavanagh back into Tarbuck. And you can see Scrimshaw. Does well to play it through to Dan Woodin, but Dan Woodin looks to lose it to Anderson. Medway to Kavanagh. Kavanagh just striding forward. He's got options. Passes it to Diaz, who does well to pass it back to the defender. Rue, hoping to find Diaz, but it's cut out by Owen Randall Prince. Now Sholing might be able to make a move. Anderson running forward. Gregory just approaching this halfway line. And the ball is cut out by Joe Morrison, who's having a brilliant game, I must say. Now Jake Scrimshaw. You could see what he was trying to do there. Just got hold of the ball, tried to volley it forward, and I'm sure he was actually hoping Dan Woodin might have matched his run, but no, unable to do it. And instead, Ryan Gosney comes out to collect it.
Well, that's the half hour, James. So
half. Haven't really seen too many particularly big chances, I would say.
I think the Wooden chances and the one at the other end of the three that you'd look back on in the first half an hour. Goal line clearances dealing with two of them.
Well, look at a goal in the last 15 minutes could be quite detrimental and could change team talks.
Cheers.
And it's Flux, target. Trying to find Davies, and I think he does find Davies, who whips in a ball to Mason. Mason trying to get across the shore, but instead finds Joe Morrison, who nicks it out for a corner ball. And Mason yet again causing damage in the centre of the Borough box.
Yeah, I thought that was good defending there from Joe. Saw the danger, came across, got the block in, deflected it for the corner, but that's a price you're prepared to pay, because otherwise that would have been 1-0.
Well, exactly. And it's going to be Davies, the man who actually whipped in the initial ball. He's going to be the man taking the corner now. Let's see if he can find Mason again, that counterpart. Davies putting in a deep ball and actually does find a Sholing body. I'm not sure who it was, but it will find another one. And the ball hit back into the Gosport box. Finds Mason, who heads it wide.
Yeah.
And I wonder, do you think Mason will be a bit annoyed with that? I mean, it was a bit of a hard ball to take involving the header, but
because he had to sort of try and
yeah,
twist
exactly.
to get the header on target. It was an awkward chance, but I mean, you never bet against Byron Mason
Yeah.
at a set piece, to be fair. But just an awkward one for him.
Well, a bit like Ramos with his physique, really. Quite a muscly player. Uses that to his advantage. Plays a similar style to Ramos. I was watching his highlights package. But yeah, being a really Sholing legend. Helped them with the FA Vars. And I'm not many sure if you know this, but actually he's cousins with Levo Colwell, the Chelsea forward.
No, didn't know that. That's one to remember.
And his target, I'm not sure if that was a cross or a shot
I
there.
think he was trying to go for goal there, to be fair.
But yeah, just did go over the Gosport goal there.
Yeah, the way he opened his body up there, I think he was trying to sort of bend that into the top left-hand corner.
Well, maybe trying to catch Stewart off guard there, but yeah, not bad chance for him. I think it's Target's first real chance. Normally he actually plays in the cross so far this game we've seen. Was a good player actually against Gosport last season. Not last season, sorry, our last game against Gosport. But that ended in a 3-0 win with Wooden, Diaz and Barca all scoring in the games. We got 2 of those goal scorers on the pitch today.
Yes, it's for the first time in a couple of years, I would say we've actually got some significant firepower up front here. And they have been delivering. And then obviously Harvey is another one. He's coming up with some really amazing goals. But it's nice to see it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I'm not being disrespectful to Dan, but they are all young players.
Yeah.
Apart from Dan, because he's in the twilight of his career by his own admission. But he is the total talisman, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. The legend.
Yeah.
And it's Dan Wooden with a charge down. And Gosney just letting it run through there, nearly hitting the goal line. But clears it out. Samuel Hooker initially wins it, but instead 14 cuts it out with Jack Cope. And the ball lifted all the way back out to Harry Kavanagh. And just looking for that pass forward. But I think he's going to try and play it out wide to Jake Scrimshaw. And he does do exactly that. And that's a brilliant pass. But instead, Jake actually loses it to Target.
He did well there because he was watching the offside line as the ball was coming over the top. But some good defending there.
Well, it's that Harry Kavanagh ball. So iconic. But we've seen it so many times this season. He does like doing these aerial balls. And he does find a lot of success through it.
There's another one
and
right there.
Yeah, Jeremy just pointed it out, finding another lofted ball. But I can't make anything of it as it's passed all the way back to Toby Stewart again. Hooky.
I know. Where the
Kavanagh in acres of space here. Finding Wooden. He passes it back to the defender. Currently 0-0 here at Privet Park. We've had a couple big chances so far. Dan Wooden probably with the best chance so far this half. But Sholing have had a couple of their own as well. Target recently having their most recent chance. But there will be throw-in near the Harry Mitson stand. And Wooden just loses the ball. But Diaz can win it back and plays a lovely ball into Kavanagh. He does try and put in a low drone cross into the centre of the Sholing box. But instead it is cleared and it will be another Gosport corner.
Yeah, another opportunity to do something from the set piece. We've got about 10 minutes to the break. Gosport's big guns coming up again. Morrison and Medway, they're all sort of getting up there. So let's see what happens now.
Well, the thing I'm looking at is currently Harry Kavanagh. He's on the edge of the Sholing box. Maybe a low cross. Oh, no. Instead, he's going to do that deep cross.
Decoy. I think he was a decoy to sort of offer the short, but they went direct. Only it didn't work.
And instead, Sholing actually marching forward here in numbers. And actually, it's Davies leading their attack, finding target. Can Scrimshaw win it back? And he will just smash it out for a Sholing throw-in. Maybe Sholing will actually look for the deep throw-in here.
Yes, I think there's an opportunity. Let's just see if the players are sort of setting up for a long throw.
No, it looks as though they're all starting to come in, so maybe not. And it's going to be Target with the throw-in.
Yeah, wandering up the touchline a bit, so let's see where he eventually settles on the throw.
We've got Cope making a lot of runs, but instead throws it out to Anderson. Anderson actually goes down in the Gosport box.
Yeah, I'm gonna sort of use a well overused phrase in commentary. I've seen them given, but one of those.
Yeah. And a ball is hit all the way about Gosney. And it's just played on the far side with Cope and McLean. And it will actually be quite a deep ball. Can Medway win it back? He does header it back. Oh, I wonder if that was actually... Do you think that was on purpose there? Let's say it was on purpose.
It was a bit dicey.
Yeah.
But...
Bit risky, but ended up paying off in the end.
And look how cool Joe Morrison was there under pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely, lovely foot like that.
Well, it looks as though he will be the rock at the back now. With Corey Jordan, I'm not sure why he's out. I think he got injured in the warm-up. But yeah, if that's a serious injury, looks as though he will be the replacement. And definitely a worthy replacement.
Yeah, I don't know too much about what happened to Corey. I'm sure we'll find out in time, but let's hope it's not too severe.
And it will be another cross into the Gosport box. That's cut out by Mason. And it looks as though Kavanagh will just win it back here. And it's Hookie playing it through to Scrimshaw. Scrimshaw, he's got players in front of him. Danwoodon on the left. Rue on the right. And he passes right. Rue. But that's a poor cross. Just didn't make the most of it there.
Yeah, the Borough players were a little static there. Maybe they didn't know what was coming in terms of the delivery.
Yeah. And instead, Sholing can make an attack. And it's Davies to target. Play back to substitute Cope. Oh, and it is cut out by Bradley Tarbot. Can Tarbot make anything of it? But no, it's pretty cool defending in the end from Flukes. But the clearance is won back by Joe Morrison. Kavanagh. Hookie. Yet again, trying to attempt the aerial ball. And he does do well, Scrimshaw, to win it back. But the referee does blow up there. And I'm not really sure there was actually too much involved with that challenge.
Not a lot of contact, but he's obviously seen enough to be able to award Sholing the free kick.
Well, it was that challenge on target that actually did get the free kick for Sholing. And it's a Skipper Mason with the ball. Rue just trying to charge down the Sholing players. But Sholing actually just doing a bit of tiki-taka play here. Oh, and that's actually a good passing between Davies and Mason. Now out wide to... I can't see who that... Oh, Target. And Target just skipping past Tarbuck. And does do well to put in a cross, but it is actually won back by Hookie, who clears it. Can Gosport make a attack here? Rue tries to find Wooden, and he does do that. Wooden just losing the ball there, but still remains in Gosport possession.
Yeah, sold him short a little bit. He sort of forced out wide, and the opportunity and momentum was lost a little there, but Gosport back in possession now.
And it's Tarbuck with the ball. Into Hollands. He finds Scrimshaw. Back to Hollands. Rue calling for the ball in the centre of the park. And he will choose that option with Rue. Rue trying to put in a deep through ball. And the flag does go up for offside. So the chance wouldn't have mattered anyway. But good defending from Mason there.
And I'll tell you what an absolute peach of a pass that was. Split them wide open.
But it's these passes we're really looking for. It's the passes that actually Gosport find the best play through, I would say. Especially involving Danny Hollands and Harvey Rue. And actually the physio just going over to Antonio Diaz there.
Yeah, I think he's got a touch of cramp there. And also Sholing medical team are out as well. So
yeah,
a bit of a physical game. It's taking its toll, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
It really is.
I suppose the only positive for Gosport is if Antonio Diaz is out, we could replace him with Lucius Fine, who's been brilliant since joining, actually. Yeah, or maybe bring on Bissari.
Let's not sort of get too far ahead on that one. But you're right. I'll take your point. You've got two very good attacking players that can come straight on. But Diaz, what he offers is experience and a calm head. And he can drop back from the front too. And he can also sort of play deeper. He's quite versatile. So I like him out there in a game like this.
Well, I'm not sure if you remember, but Diaz was one of the scorers in this last actually clash against Sholing earlier this season. Scored a brilliant goal from outside of the box. So if he does get up, hopefully he'll get another stunner like that today.
He's very capable, and his dad also played at a good level, Dorchester and Weymouth. So they're a good footballing family, good pedigree.
Well, the boys are currently having talks with the managers. And if you were the manager, Jeremy, what would you actually be saying to the boys?
I would be saying, let's get a little bit quicker, go that final pass, a little bit sharper, a little bit. And I think maybe Gosport are making a change. I think Diaz has had it.
Unfortunate for Diaz, he has had a bit of a stint off with injury.
I think it might be Billy Basari.
Yeah, I think it could be. He's getting all the high fives at the moment. Lucy's fine also coming down, but I think, like you said, it could be Basari coming on.
I think it's going to be like for like, so it's made for Billy Basari.
Oh, I'm sure he'll get a warm reception here at the AEI Stadium.
You listen when I announce him as a substitute. You just listen to it. Because the Borough fans love Billy, and they'll be pleased to see him back.
And we're just waiting for the substitute. I'm not sure if Sholing are making a sub as well. Yep. Oh, that's a shame. Target coming off for...
Okay, so they're making one as well.
Target coming off for Wagstaff. Target, I think he's had a brilliant game as well. So another big player missed.
So that's another one on there. Sholing substitution, ladies and gentlemen, coming on at 12, Charlie Wagstaff. Replacing who?
Target.
Replacing number 2, Brad Target. Couldn't read my own writing.
I'm sure Paul Dowswell won't be too happy with that. One of his big players out. Had a couple of good plays. Had a really good shot, actually, just narrowly missing the crossbar. And also played a lot of good balls into the Borough box.
Thing is, they've had to make all 3 substitutions for half time. And that's not going to give him any cards to play in the second half. So Paul Doswell will be rightly concerned by this. Now, Gosport are about to make their change. It'll be interesting to see what they do. But my money is on Billy.
I think you could be right.
Yeah, but also Vine came down with him. So it'd be interesting to see what Pat and Joe are going to do.
Oh, and we have had it confirmed. Number 10, Antonio Diazov. And it will be Billy Basari who returns back to the AEI Stadium. And getting a very warm reception here, as you can see, my co-commentator, Jeremy, just announcing it and got a very warm reception.
Billy Basari. Replacing number 10, Antonio Diaz.
Probably
he's not 15, is he? So I'll have to change that. This team sheet's not.
And currently, while it's at the break, I'll run through some other scores in the league. Beaconsfield still 0-0 to Chesham, and Didcot still 0-0 to Hungerford. And play has continued. Dutchy Hollins with the... Oh no, Dutchy doesn't win it. Instead, Sholing keep it. Harvey Rue to Danny Hollins, hoping to find Basari, but cut out by the substitute, Flukes. Hollins. Tarbuck. Hookie out wide to Kavanagh. Kavanagh rapidly striding forward. Finding Scrimshaw. Hookie. And it is Hollins. Finding Rue, who does well to keep hold of the ball despite the challenge from Mason. Tarbuck. Getting himself into the Sholing box. Now Basari's first real touch of the game. And he does, I'm not sure if yet again that was a shot all cross.
I think that was more of a cross than a shot there. But look how sharp Billy Basari looks.
Yeah, couple good movements already.
He's been on about 2 minutes, if that. But you can see he's galvanised that forward line. It's a completely different dimension to it. Sholing going to have to figure him out now.
And I'm not sure if you've also noticed, it looks as though Basari's maintaining this left wing role and Jake's kind of progressed to a right role.
Yeah,
right wing role.
Shuffled. Scrimshaw switch sides. There's no way there's 8 minutes.
And there has been a couple rumours there. Is 8 minutes added on? But
well,
yeah.
We don't know yet, but I mean, we've seen half a board with potentially 8 minutes.
And it's Jake Scrimshaw in the box. Oh! And I think many Gosport fans thought that went in there.
did?
Yeah. You may have heard my excitement there. Jake Scrimshaw just slamming the ball into the side netting.
The referees indicated there will be a minimum of 8 added minutes. 8 minutes.
And I'm sure you've just heard it there. 8 minutes added on. Well, there has been a lot of players down, so I would imagine it's from that, but still a lot of time added on.
Yeah, we've obviously seen a lot of injuries, substitutions galore already. 3 for Sholing, 1 for us, all injuries. So yeah, it just goes back to our discussion a little earlier about time added on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, hopefully enough time for Gosport to snatch a lead, but no, instead Sholing might be able to. But it's well collected by Stewart there.
Yeah, that was a little bit untidy, but Toby's very calm and assured.
Yeah, a lot more mature than what his age is.
Absolutely, totally agree with that. Some of the saves he's made this season.
Exactly. Oh, he's really been our lifeline. I think the main thing that really sticks out to me was that Salisbury game, the FA Cup,
Penalty shootout.
where he saved every penalty.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I think it was every penalty.
Yeah.
I don't think one got past him.
Fortunately, we didn't really do too well in that competition, but we still remain in some competitions. The Pompey Cup, probably a cup we're looking to win now.
Yeah, I think why not? Because I think it gives Pat and Joe a chance to rotate the squad a little bit. And there is pride in winning these competitions. All right, they're not as glamorous maybe as the FA Trophy or the FA Cup, but they are still so worth being in.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, for example, you get to the Pompey Senior Cup final with Fratton Park.
Nice little treat.
Yeah. And I remember us playing at Fratton Park in the Hampshire Senior Cup final against Sholing in 2015 and winning it. It was a special night. It really was.
Well, hopefully Gosport can get a bit of silverware this season. Hopefully another one we really want to get is a promotion. But hardly to get out of with there only being 1 automatic and 1 playoff. And Sholing is on the attack here. I think they were hoping to find Gregory there with a deep cross, but Stewart yet again coming out to collect the ball.
I think it's going to get harder each year to get out of this division with the money that is being spent and the budgets that some clubs are running with. And the experience that is being filtered down to this level. And you're right, there's only 1 automatic and 1 through the playoffs when you've got 8, maybe 9 teams that are capable.
Oh, it is Mason marching forward. Just does get a bit of a shot across. I think it did take a nick off of one of our defenders there. Made an easy save in the end for Stewart again.
So, I think it's going to be a very competitive division. I really do.
Well, definitely a couple of teams already shown fight for it. Gosport among those teams. I say the big 3 teams are Chesham, Gosport, and probably Salisbury.
And with the setup that Salisbury have got with their stadium and off the pitch infrastructure, they are made for the next level up. But you've got to go there, you've got to earn it, and you've got to get promoted on your own merit. So, game on.
Exactly. And as Gosport actually do try and find an attack, and it is Hooky brought down, but it will be a Gosport throw-in. Kavanagh hoping to take the quick throw-in with Hooky. Played back to Kavanagh. Kavanagh putting in a cross. Can Dan Wooden get on the end of it? He can't, but it trickles its way back to Basari, who loses it. And I'm sure it will fall to Tarbuck here, who headers it back into the danger zone. Rue, maybe finding Dan Wooden. Can Dan find the back of it in there? Oh, just taking way too long there. But it does fall to Basari. Basari can't get his shot across. I'm sure Sholing will try and clear here, or maybe instead create a counter-attack.
Yeah, Wooden just waited that split second too long and the ball didn't fall to him as he would wish. But, Sholing are on the counter now.
Well, it's Gregory moving forward. But Medway does well to win it back. Clearing it. But
that's probably the most clear-cut chance that Gosport have had. He was clean through.
Yeah, through on goal. 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. But, yeah. And Gosney, I think he's just telling the boys there, just take it slow. Let the half settle. They can't really afford to go 1-0 down at the break, can they?
No, and there's 4 of the 8 minutes played, so we're halfway through the stoppage period. But both sides have had chances.
Oh, yeah. I think it was Mason there with a clearance, nearly hitting someone on the head.
Hey? We're a bit busy. That's good, that. 95.
I think a lot of fans just scared there.
That's very good indeed. Right, I will announce that.
And it's Kavanagh.
We'll see.
Switching it to the other side, trying to find Hollins, but instead finds Flukes. Fluke's unable to clear it, and Basari putting heavy pressure on the defender there before Gosney can clear it. Mason might be able to get on the end of it, but no. Well won by Medway and trickles its way back to Morrison. And there's 3 minutes left of the half. Medway trying to put in an aerial ball into Rue, but headed out. Davies yet again finding Medway. Can Jake Scrimshaw get on the end of this ball near the halfway line? Not really.
Again,
McLean.
it's a lot of teams sort of winning and losing the ball in the middle third here, James.
Yeah.
Just running true to form there.
Well, it looks very rushed football from both teams at the moment. And as I say it, actually Davies could be in with an attack, but no, it's well cut out by Tarbuck, who
really
clears it.
short defending there from Brad Tarbuck. Did really well there.
But Sholing just got a lot of players forward. I'm sure Gosport fans, bit of a nervy ending to this half. As McLean just skipping forward. Oh, he does try and put in a box, ball into the box, but instead Hollins actually clears it again.
Hungerford has scored at Didcot.
And we have just heard Hungerford has scored at Didcot, so it'd be 1-0 at that game. And I'm sure the other game we'll be looking at is the Chesham game.
Yes, but I'm not, with all due respect to Didcot, I'm not surprised that Hungerford have found a way through there. They were in the National South last season. They've got a very experienced side, and they picked the lock.
Well, they had a poor start to the season, but they're starting to find their form now, I would say.
Yeah, they're not far off it, and that's what I was referring you back to my comment a few minutes ago. There are 8, maybe 9 teams that are very capable of going up.
Yeah.
If they can get a run of form together.
Well, we've seen it happen so many times this season where the perhaps surprise teams are getting results, such as Swindon Supermarine getting a result against Gosport.
Yeah, false position for them. They've always been a good side. They had a bad start to the season. They changed manager. They brought in Stuart Fleetwood, who's been there and done it, and he's got them playing. He's got them playing and winning.
And Davies did just try and find Mason there, but unable to find it as Medway. I think it was Medway who cut it out. And now it's Cope striding forward. Got a lot of blue bodies around him, and Gosport pressure does eventually get it back. Finding Basari. Minutes left to play. Will this be Gosport's last attack? Basari getting past a number of players before eventually Wagstaff gets it. And it will be a foul, and it will be a card to the defender.
Yeah, he body checked him. He sort of really just used his shoulder to give him a bit of a body check, so it was a foul. Knew what he was doing. Tactical foul. Takes the yellow, takes one for the team.
Well, it was a bit of last-ditch defending there, wasn't it? Yeah. Can Gosport make anything of it? And it will be Kavanagh hovering over the free kick.
Yeah, Harry Cav's a bit of a set-piece specialist. I think he'll be looking to sort of just drop that just inside the defensive line, maybe onto the head of Wooden. If Joe makes a good run here, Morrison, then I think just see, it's an intriguing situation, this.
And it will be Kavanagh. And there is somebody tripped in the box, but the referee blows up for half-time. Gosport 0, Sholing 0. And there has been a fair few chances in this first half. I'd say the two biggest have fell to our skipper, Dan Wooden. Dan Wooden with the first chance, just narrowly missing the net thanks to a vital deflection from Gosney. And actually Wooden's second chance probably should have done a bit better there, where he was fed a deep ball, was through 1-on-1 against Gosney, but missed it. Sholing also had their chances as well. Mason had a couple, with Target also having their most pivotal shot, which saw a ball blazed over the Gosport bar. But currently it's Gosport 0, Sholing 0. And also some other games in the league is actually Beaconsfield 0, Chesham 0, and it's Hungerford who take the 1-0 lead currently. And these are all the main scores. But we look forward to returning in the second half, and hopefully Gosport will be able to find their goal. Hello, we're back into the second half of the game, as this time Sholing in the red and white actually kick off. And yeah, currently the score's 0-0 here at the AEI Stadium. We'll keep you updated with the other scores across the board, but yeah, I'm sure Gosport will be hoping for a bit of a better second half involving their attacking threat. Had a couple good chances in the first half with big players such as Stanwood and the skipper having the two big chances. Dan was actually set through on goal with the first chance where he was through 1-on-1 against Gosney, but a vital deflection from the keeper actually saw it drilled into the side netting. Whereas his second shot, he was actually through on goal, but just didn't really have the time, wasn't really in the space, and kind of fluffed his shot in the end. But yeah, I'm sure both sets of teams will be hoping for a bit of a different second half. But yeah, so currently I've also got Cliff from the BBC. But Cliff, so you watched a bit of the first half with us, but what did you make of the first half?
I was a bit disappointed, if I'm honest, from Gosport's perspective. Only a couple of chances. But as a game, everybody seems to just have not recovered yet from Christmas Day. It's not been a very exciting game. Not many chances and very even. So obviously, Sholing are a good team, but in Gosport's league position, you would kind of maybe be hoping they would be creating a little bit more, expecting them to be on top a bit more than they are. But it's actually a very even game with not too many chances at either end. But obviously, it could all change in the second half, couldn't it?
Oh, definitely. And you would have seen Dave Diper with his Sholing days, and Paul Dowswell, he's come in recently. What have you made of him since actually joining Sholing? Worthy replacement?
It's a very tough act to follow. Few people have got the stats that Dave has got. He was doing it for 20 years plus, lots of trophies. But Paul Doswell's got a great track record as well. And in the short term, the results have improved under the new manager. They've moved up the table a little bit. So in the long term, I don't think you're going to see much difference because they're both excellent managers at a very nice club.
Oh, and Kavanagh has just put a deep ball in. I think he found Dan Wood in there who headed it wide, but it does still stay in ball. And Scrimshaw with the half volley just didn't really get good enough contact there, did he, Cliff?
No, but it's a good start to the half of Gosport. We've still got the ball. It still hasn't gone out of play. And this is good from Gosport. If they can get another cross in now from the left-hand side, there's players waiting in the penalty area.
Well, it's Billy Basari this time marching forward. Originally having a scramble with Anderson there, but cleared out now. Can Medway keep hold of the ball? Instead, Mason gets hold of it. Mason just trying to shoulder him off, but instead Medway's force actually gets in the way. And now Medway's brought down, and that's a bad injury by the looks of it. Yeah, you can see, I think it's Hookie there just calling over. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's a card in here. Maybe a yellow, red. I would be surprised if he didn't see a card, the Sholing midfielder there. Just a high challenge on Medway there. Gone over by the advertising boards. Yeah, one you don't really want to see, especially when we don't really have too much defensive players on the bench today. I'd say the standout player we have in defence, probably Zach Sharp playing a more central role, or we could bring on Ashley Akpan, a player who's been very impressive since joining from his time at Aldershot. But no. Yeah, as you heard there, it does look as though we could be seeing a change. And I can't see anyone warming up at the moment. But yeah, it's just something you don't really want to see over there. You can see the physio just trying to work his magic, but I don't think it'd be enough. And this is scenes you really don't want to see. Stretches coming along. Medway being such a good player for us recently and a key part in our defensive plays. Started nearly every game this season along with Corey Jordan, but with Corey Jordan out as well, yeah, it's a bit of a scary thought. And yeah, you can just see him in real discomfort there. Yeah, really not good. Really not good. You can just see him laying flat on the floor as well. Yeah, just holding his face there. And even, I think that could be the Sholing injury man actually coming on. And there will be a stop and play here for the injury. And yeah, Pat and Joe just giving a team talk down the sidelines. Sure, this will stack up in the injury time. We mentioned earlier, me and Jeremy, we were talking about the injury time. 8 minutes added on in the first half. Perhaps a bit of a shock, but yeah, with this injury, I could see it being out for a bit of time. And I'm just trying to work out who Gosport looks as though they're bringing on. Oh, and it will be Zach Sharp coming on. Got all vested up. Number 16, Zach Sharp coming on for Medway. But Medway, I don't think he's off the pitch yet. Yes, come on. Referee just signalling to his fellow ref that it will be a substitute now. And I would imagine it will be Zach Sharp taking this more central role. We've seen him take it a couple of times, this central role, but traditionally more of a right back. The under.
Borough substitution, number 16.
Yep, you can see him there just checking on his teammate, and he does look as though he will be occupying this left centre back role. Actually, a very interesting fact as well. He's the under 18s manager. Yeah. Yeah. And it looks as though play will continue by the referee as Medway just currently off of the pitch. Just a player. Oh. Yeah, you can just see some referee discussions near the Harry Mitson stand. I wonder what it will be because nothing really happened. I don't think there was really. It was a bad challenge, but I can't see any cards being plucked out at the moment. It's just Danny Hollins and Anderson with the ball. I'm sure it will be a Gosport free kick. And there we go. Being stretched off and getting a warm round of applause here. Things you really don't want to see. But yeah, getting the applause he deserves there. And really just another player adding to this injury crisis. We've seen a lot of defenders. So we've had Charlie Phasma, Rory Williams, now Harry Medway, Corey Jordan. 4 big players out. It's nice to see both sets of teams actually helping involved.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Yeah, and just getting another round of applause there. Well done, Harry. We wish you all the best. Hopefully be back before we know it. And yeah, class act there by both teams. Sholing physio helping. I was just saying to the viewers that both sets of physios were actually helping. A nice bit of classy act, really.
Yeah,
sportsmanship.
You see it a lot at non-league level. Many times down the years, I've seen it, and they will help you out.
Yeah,
it's nice to see it. I can recall many incidents of cooperation like that.
yeah,
Yeah, it's lovely to see it. Obviously, it's a massive blow, and I did sort of see Harry's knee was in a brace as they carried him off.
Yeah.
So that's not looking very good at all, I'm afraid.
Well, just adding to this injury crisis already. Charlie Phasma, Rory Williams.
It's becoming one, because especially at the back, because obviously Wasma's out for a while, and now Medway. And Corey Jordan.
Yeah, exactly.
So you just got to hope his wasn't too serious.
And we've sold Johnny Afeji, who can sometimes play at the back. So, yeah, really, we're lacking quality there. But, yeah, as the game's kicked off, it's currently still 0-0 here at the AEI Stadium as Stewart tries to clear it out. But instead, for getting hold of the ball. But it's cut out by Hollins. Can Woodin get on the end of it? Nope, he can't. Instead, Mason might be able to head it down, and he does do that, heading it down to his fellow counterpart, Kavanagh, getting hold of the ball, playing it through to Scrimshaw. Scrimshaw just trying to find a free ball, but instead he's keeping hold of the ball. Scrimshaw is going to play it out wide to Billy Basari. Basari just on the edge of the box. Basari lining up a shot, and he does go for a shot, but straight down the throat of Gosney there.
Yeah, good work from Billy. Got it on target, and I still think they're trying to figure him out since he's come on a substitute. So. I think he's going to sort of settle down, and he'll have more to offer.
Well, it's something we've been looking for, isn't it? Players who have more of a shot. Because we've noticed a couple of times they look more for the final pass. We're looking for perfection rather than just getting the shot across.
I think that's a charge you can lay at their door for a lot of the season. They're looking for the perfect ball. And sometimes perfect isn't the most effective. Pretty football isn't the most effective. I mean, I like the way that Pat and Joe are setting Gosport up to play. But sometimes, you've got to be direct, and you've just got to sort of find the most effective way to open your opponent's defence up.
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully we'll do that in a minute, because we're in the final third at the moment with Bradley Tarbut taking the throw-in. Samuel Hookie's unmarked if he wants to throw it backwards, but I think he's looking for a more central role. Billy Basari just making moves there, along with Samuel Hookie, but he chooses Basari. Sorry, a couple step overs there, but passes it back to Tarbuk. forming a good partnership, those two. And Tarbach does try and deliver a ball in, but Mason headers it out. And Hesketh. Oh, it's a good challenge from Tarbach. But still, Sholing marching forward through McNeil.
Mason. He's unmarked, or he was.
A ball put in, and it's Joe Tomlinson. Oh, I'm not sure what the referee blew up for there.
Offside.
Oh, offside.
But I tell you what, Gosport very precarious at the back there. Absolutely caught out. Mason made a charging run down into the box, and they didn't pick him up until it was almost too late.
Yeah.
A player of his quality, you can't do that. You can't leave him alone.
Well, it was nearly Morrison's rebound that actually tipped it over Toby Stewart for an own goal. Bit of unfortunate luck there, I'd say.
But again, they've survived it. So it's been that sort of game, isn't
Yeah, it really has. Well, it's been 10 minutes played here at the AEI Stadium. Gosport 0, Sholing 0. Gosport just taking a goal kick and yet again losing possession. Mason trying to find Hesketh, but Tarbach wins it back. And it's Kavanagh. And it's Hesketh in the right-hand channel. Trying to drill in a ball, but Zach Sharp can easily clear that. Just finding no reception there in the box. And it's Davies.
Yeah, I would say that actually. Just observing, James, that Sholing has stepped it up. They've certainly picked up since the break.
Yeah, looking
This is
probably
the
the more
midway
dangerous side. Basari just bringing Davies down there.
I think the longer it goes at 0-0, the more their tails will go up.
Yeah.
I think Gosport are contemplating a change. They've just said,
I was going to say Lucy's fine.
Yeah.
Probably a positive sign. But another player, I wonder who he'll replace. Now Basari in the left-hand channel. He's got Tarbach on the overlap, and he does choose that option. Tarbach nipping in the centre, and he is now in the Sholing box, trying to find Scrimshaw, but he lets it run. And Hookie might take a shot here, and he finds the bottom corner! Samuel Hookie with a brilliant goal from outside of the box. His first Gosport goal, and what a way to get it. And you can just see here in the left-hand channel, it all started from Basari with that lovely overlap. And what a goal that is. On the 57 minute, it's Samuel Hookie with the opener. And you can just see the Sholing heads all dropping there, thanks to that brilliant goal from Samuel Hookie.
Ladies and gentlemen, goal for Gosport are in the 57th minute. The scorer, number 12, Sam Hookie.
And you can see there, just a lovely reception. And what a way to get your first Gosport goal.
What a strike. What a strike. What can you say? Just literally saw the chance, reacted, bang. That is a great goal.
Well, we
Really
were talking
well
about
taken.
it a bit there, about not looking for perfection and just having a crack at goal. And that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, amazing strike. Yeah, and that's broken the deadlock.
Well, he's looked really positive. We mentioned in the first half how positive Samuel Hookie's looking. Got a couple of assists against Walton and Hersham. Now gets a goal to add that to that collection. Brilliant. But can Gosport seal it out?
Well, there's a long way to go yet, so it's a great start. Deadlock's been broken, but yeah, there's a little bit more football to play yet. But they have, crucially, finally made the chance count.
Well, it was Samuel Hookie with a goal, which sees Gosport lead 1-0 here at the AEI Stadium in the early Boxing Day clash. And in other scores tonight, Beaconsfield still 0-0 against Chesham, while Didcot trail to Hungerford Town. But the ball is just being played down this left-hand channel, trying to find Mason, who does head it down to, I think it could be Cope. Yep, it is Cope. Cope getting inside of the body. And actually, Toby Stewart has to get down low there to make that initial save. Just coolly, calmly getting it. Not letting it spill. Yeah, doing good work there, the young Pompiloni.
12, isn't it?
Toby just going to let it roll while he smashes it out. Trying to find Harvey Rue, but instead cut out. Currently, ball being played near the halfway line. Danny Hollins trying to find Dan Wooden. But I would imagine Prince can get hold of it. Yeah, he does just do that. Prince does get hold of it. And Mason clears it out, which does actually turn to be a good pass into Davies before Tarbach can eventually get hold of the ball again. Stewart. Goal scorer Hookie now on the ball. And doing really well to maintain Gosport possession there. Shaping out to have a really good game. Now passing it out to Kavanagh. Kavanagh just trying to escape his man. Around 20 yards out from goal. But it does take a deflection off of McNeil, and it will be a Gosport corner here. 14 minutes played here at the AEI Stadium. Gosport 1, Sholing 0. And you can see here, Rue just coming close to Kavanagh, the corner taker. Wondering if he's going to take the short corner. You got Basari on the edge of the box and also some big players in the box, but he will go for the deep cross. And he does find Morrison, who does get ahead to it, but just can't really get that final ball, really. Can't get the final touch to just guide it in.
He was head and shoulders above the defence there, Morrison, literally. But again, he's having to twist ever so slightly to get the header on target, but a great chance for him to get on the score sheet, though.
Yeah, lucky not to make it 2-0 there.
Yeah, I'd say that's a fair thing to say. And Gosport, since the goal, have relaxed.
Yeah.
Maybe they would. Hello.
Oh, but instead 11's on the ball. But it's well won back by Tarbuck. Now Kavanagh. He's got Mason with the charge down. But instead, Kavanagh can get his clearance. Actually doing well to find Harvey Roux, who plays it out wide to Billy Basari. Basari just near the edge of the box. Basari going for goal, but it's a good save from Gosney, and it will be played out by Davies. And it's Gregory. Now back out to McNeil in this left-hand channel.
I can hear you now.
McNeil sprinting forward. Kavanagh with a charge down, but unable to win it back. McNeil doing really well to keep hold of the ball. Oh, and that is a ball drilled into the Gosport box, but it's well dealt with as Gosport keep hold of the ball. Now Harvey Roux hoping to clear it. But Mason just heading it back into the danger zone. That's a really poor pass from Tarbuck.
I can hear myself on this iPad, as long as you can hear me.
And it's going to be Mac Davies in the far end, taking a quick throw in. Mason. Gosport yet again putting on heavy pressure. Gosney just keeping hold of the ball there. I think telling these players to reformate. Get a bit of a better grip on this game, I think.
Just a quick breather and a quick reset. Held onto the ball. Sort of made sure Sholing regained their shape and composure, and off it went again.
Well, it's Cope marching forward here. Trying to find Davies, and he will just do that. That's good first touch from Davies. Davies just trying to find a cross into the centre, but a heavy deflection from Tarbuck goes out for a corner ball for Sholing.
Yeah, Sholing were hoping for the penalty there. They said it struck him on the arm. Because he was in front of me, I didn't get a view on that. But if it did, then they had half a shout there.
Well, you've got some big players coming up here. I think the big players really consist of the Mason brothers, actually.
Yeah, Dan and Byron. Yeah, Byron especially. He's a bit of a heavyweight at set pieces. Here he goes.
And it looks as though, just unable to win it back, and Basari tries to head it out. As Gregory just puts it back into the box to Davies. Davies putting in a very high ball, which might find 16, but well tipped out by Toby Stewart. Yeah, again, put back into the danger zone. This time falling to Owen Randall Prince, but the flag is right.
Yeah, he did manage to put it in the back of the net, but the flag is up.
The flag is raised for us.
Got the header in there. So,
yeah,
I think little bit of a let off there for Gosport, but because I said a few moments ago they've relaxed, but you can't relax too much because
Yeah, we saw it in our last home game, didn't we? Got that first initial goal from Dan Wooden, and then, like you said, relaxed afterwards and couldn't seem to get back in the game afterwards.
That's where it went too much the other way, because I believe that day the worst thing they could have done was score.
Yeah.
And it looks as though we've got.
It could be another injury crisis.
Yeah,
it's actually Fluke's a substitute.
And they haven't got another substitute to put on either.
This could be very bad for Sholing. And I'm sure the manager will be saying, please just get up. We can't afford to let you go. Especially.
He'll be concerned because obviously they've already used up all three of their substitutes on injuries. And if Flukes can't continue, then they will be down to 10 men.
Well, the thing is, I think Flukes was having quite a good game. Being quite nippy. Very good at holding actually Basari back with defensively wise. So yeah, it would be a big miss if he has to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official attendance at the AEI Stadium this afternoon is 1,041. 1,041. That is an outstanding show of support from everyone. Thank you very much.
I'm not sure if you guys just heard that, but a whopping 1,041 here at the AEI Stadium. Probably expected, but it's still nonetheless very impressive at this level.
That is amazing. And I must admit, when I went downstairs for a break a little while ago, so many people, and I just look around and I thought, it's got to be about the 1,000 mark. And yeah, it's amazing. Boxing Day football does bring people out. People love a little bit of festive football. They love a local derby. There you go.
Well, we're certainly being treated to one at the moment, aren't we? Currently, 20 minutes played here at the AEI Stadium. Gosport 1-0 up at the moment, thanks to a Samuel Hookie goal. All really stinned from Basari in the left-hand channel, doing a good pass into Tarbuck, and then Tarbuck with the assist, and Samuel Hookie on the edge of the box, finding the bottom corner to make it 1-0. But that's the only goal that separates it at the moment.
Sorry, James, just keeping an eye on Flukes here. Can he continue, or is he done for? Because if he's done for, then Sholing's problems will deepen because they will go down to 10 men.
Well, it does look as though he's walking off. So
it'd be all right, I think, but yeah, it'd be uncomfortable times.
I think it's just one of those injuries where he is just going to have to walk it off or run it off even.
Well,
Whacking some ice on.
it looks as though they're getting some ice on it, sort of running repairs on him, because really they're going to have, unless he physically can't continue.
No, it's energy.
Yeah, they're just doing
Yeah, I
some
think they're
running
giving him-
repairs on him.
Greetings,
Yeah.
everybody. Gosport have taken the lead a few moments ago to liven up a disappointing game up to then. It's Sam Hookie's first goal from Gosport.
And I think they're just returning the stretchers. Hopefully that means all the best for Harry Medway. Still haven't seen him come out of the tunnel yet, but yeah, wishing all the best for Harry Medway, who got injured mere minutes ago. But yeah, an unfortunate accident, and yeah, perhaps an injury where we won't see Harry Medway now for a long time.
We've only got to keep our fingers crossed for the lad. Hopefully he'll be back soon rather than later. But because I was downstairs, I didn't see the incident, James. Did he hit the barrier? Because he seemed to be over
Yeah,
that side.
I think it could have been a player pushed him into the barrier by the looks of it and just collided with his knee. Must have been an awkward fall in the end, and
The problem
yeah.
you've got with Privet Park, the AEI Stadium, is you've got these ditches around it, and it can be very, very deep.
Well, I'm going to have to cut you off as Rude does try and find Basari, but unable to win it. And instead, Gregory marching forward, finding Davies. Just approaching the halfway line here, but instead passing it back. Basari with the heavy pressure. But played all the way back to Gosney, who does do a bit of a risky pass, and it is going to trickle all the way back to Mason. And just protesting the foul there from Zach Sharp. And it
was obstruction on Byron Mason. Yeah, it was a brilliant bit of obstruction, but unfortunately the referee saw it rather than he didn't see it.
yeah, bit unlucky there. And it will.
The dark arts.
Yeah.
He was trying to do it on the blind side of the road. He get away with it. But it's a possibility now. It's opening up some possibilities for Sholing.
Exactly. And I think that is the injured player back on the pitch now.
He's back out there, which is good news for Sholing. But I will guarantee you, I'll see what happens to this, but I guarantee
it is Jake Scrimshaw with their tag. And he has whipped a brilliant through ball into Harry Kavanagh in the right-hand channel. Just approaching the box now. Tries to play a ball into Danny Hollins. We know Danny Hollins loves a shot from outside the box. Let's see if he does another one. But instead passing it to Basari. Maybe Basari can have a book. But it's just trying to play it through Kavanagh, but it's well cut out by Gregory.
Trying to be too clever there for me. Scrimshaw's got
Scrimshaw has won it back through in space. But Rue probably just taking a bit too much time there, and Mason cuts it out.
And I'll repeat that comment. They're trying to be too clever now, Gosport. Holland chose not to shoot, and Busari chose to shoot, then decided against. Sometimes when you've got that yard of space and you can see the whites of those posts, just shoot.
Well, exactly that, yeah. 23 minutes played here at the AEI Stadium. Gosport currently 1-0 up against Sholing, thanks to a Hickey goal.
Kavanagh's down.
This is bad. Yellow card as well, I think, might be plucked out.
Yeah, it's in the referee's hand. But what's he going to do with it? I mean, is he going to show it to the 14? Or I don't quite understand what the referee's planning to do here. He's going to show it to the 14, which is...
So that is going to be a yellow card for Jake Cope. I don't think he's happy for it.
Yeah, we're just seeing Harry Medway leaving
in
full kit. So that would suggest he's off to hospital. So that's awful. So can only wish him the very best.
Yeah, well, everyone here in the press box wishes Medway the best. Hopefully an injury where he won't be out for too long, but unfortunately not looking the best.
No, it's not. The signs there aren't great.
Well, let's hope the boys can give him a win to celebrate in the hospital, as it's going to be Kavanagh with a cross just near that halfway line. You know how good Kavanagh is at free kicks. Will he do another good one here? And it does look as though he's trying to find Morrison, but Morrison just can't get on the end of it. Just try and
Yeah.
keep it in play, but goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, he was trying to salvage it to stay for the throw in. Yes, Morrison was definitely the target there, and I can see him as a very, very good target man for Gosport in those attacking set pieces. A good idea, just unfortunately didn't come off.
And yet again, heavy pressure from Gosport, leading to a poor pass from Gosney. And it is going to played out to McLean.
I think Gosport are going to make another change.
Yeah, you can see them lining up. I would imagine it could be Lucius
It will
Fine.
be Lucius Fine. They've just called him in.
And you can see a lot of fans not happy with that foul there.
The referee just
And-
needs to
oh.
calm it all down. He sent him
Wow,
off.
I was not expecting that.
Doswell's gone.
Well, a bit too much lip from the manager there, and Paul Doswell will be sent to the touchline. Oh, wow.
I think that he's not finished. The referee's not done yet. He's not done yet.
Well, you can see Mason there just protesting.
Yes, a little bit too much, perhaps.
I think he just got a bit too lippy there, the Sholing manager. Yeah, you can see the referee just disagreeing. And you can hear the Gosport fans now chanting, off, 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 off. Oh,
Yeah,
this could be very interesting now.
Paul Doswell will have no choice but to leave the technical area and sit in the stand. Yeah, he's not going willingly, but if the referee has ordered you out of the dugout, you have to leave.
Well, he's finally starting to move, making the walk of shame. And look, he's still protesting. And the thing is, when you argue this long, it's just going to end with further penalties, isn't it?
Well, I think it just means that teams will start to lose their discipline a little. But I think what they've also been waiting for, Sholing, is to get their medical staff on the pitch because they've got a player down needing treatment on the far side.
Yeah.
So it's all getting a little bit fractious, really. Paul will have to leave, and I think which he has now gone. He's gone straight into the dressing room.
Well, that whole scenario somewhat reminded me of the Jose Mourinho one. You know where? No, not a Jose Mourinho. Sorry, Arsene Wenger at Old Trafford. Imagine him standing there.
Yes, I remember that. I think I only saw that the other day on YouTube, actually.
He just, yeah.
And here is a
Oh,
Gosport
we can now
substitution.
confirm the change. Will be Lucius Fine coming on, but I'm not sure for which player yet. And it will be Harvey Roux coming off for Lucius Fine. Yeah, good substitute there for Gosport. The former Brentford man coming on for Gosport.
Replacing number 8, Harvey Roux.
And I wonder if this is going to be a tactical change or just to give Harvey Roux a bit of a rest after playing a lot of minutes this season.
He has, and he's actually had a very, very strong season, and he has been a huge influence. But what I also think Pat and Joe have got in their minds is I've seen Lucius Fine against Porchester and a couple of other games in which he's played. He's quick, he's unpredictable, he's tricky, and I think he's going to give Sholing something else to think about. So, and we're going into sort of the last quarter of an hour of this game now, and he's fresh legs, attacking, and I can see him causing a few issues.
100%. Well, hopefully he will do that. And it'll be interesting to see this partnership between Bassari and Vine now, because you can see Vine just occupying that centre role with Jake Scrimshaw moving out to the right again.
Yeah, Scrimshaw's moved around a couple of times during this game to suit the tactics, but Bassari, at least, he's settled, he's come straight back into the club that he knows, players that he knows. It's probably like he's never left.
Yeah. Oh, that is a rubbish free kick, but still, Gosport do remain possession as Jake Scrimshaw has fed a ball. Just unable to keep unable to keep it in play there, and McNeil will take a throw in. Going to pass it back. Fine, just trying to get into the game. I think just tugging his shirt there, and it will be a foul.
It was a pull, yeah. A little bit keen to make his mark, so yeah, the referee's just telling him to calm down as he comes by him, but yeah, keen to make an impression, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think the Gosport fans are already stirred up from that red card previously. And it is currently still 1-0 here at the AEI Stadium. And the recent big news is Samuel Hookey has got a goal, but Paul Doswell has been sent off.
Wow. Who knows? We're just sort of touching on how much added time it could be. We're a little way off that yet. We've got quarter of an hour to go, so we'll see.
Oh, you never know with refs these days, though.
No, like we discussed earlier,
Yeah.
the directives that they've been given, they've got to follow them.
And the ball is trying to find Mason, but Morrison just does well enough to let it go back to Toby Stewart. Just going to take his time there. Perhaps wasting a bit of time, but a bit too early to be time wasting.
Yes, I don't think Gosport need to do it, actually. But once you get into the last 5 minutes and you're protecting a 1-0 lead, you may start to see those tactics come in a bit more.
Exactly, yeah. And it's Samuel Hookie, the goal scorer, passing it to Basari. He's got Tarbuck with the overlap, and he will go for that option in the left-hand channel. Tarbuck playing it down to Holland.
Flukes is off.
Oh,
The 16
well,
is off for Sholing. They are down to 10 men.
we can confirm Flukes has now gone off, and it will be another miss in the defence. Oh, but a ball is fed through to Dan Wooden. He does try and get a shot across, but it is a pretty good deflection in the end from Prince.
Good block.
Yeah.
Really good block.
Well, Prince did have the ball in the back of the net before, but the goal was disallowed to, I think it was offside in the end, wasn't it?
Offside flag was up and the ball was in the air. But again, that was a good bit of defending there. Wooden had a tight angle to work with, but his shot was going in if the block hadn't been made.
And it will be another corner, but he does choose a short option to lose his fine. Kavanagh now running forward, and he will choose Kavanagh. Kavanagh trying to dish in a cross, but it's not the best cross in the world, is
Tell you
it?
what, that was going in though. If the keeper hadn't reacted there, James, that would have been 2-0. That was just literally just dinking down towards that near corner.
Perhaps the element of surprise there, I think, just to catch the goalkeeper off guard.
Potentially, yes.
And it will be Mason just searching forward. Oh, but it's well cut out by Hollins. And now it's Lucy's fine in the centre of the park. Just trying to nip forward, but it's intercepted. But it doesn't matter because Basari's still got it. Basari finding Hollins. Yeah, he is. Now it's Jake Scrimshaw in the left-hand channel. McNeil. No, not McNeil, sorry. Tarbuck. Hookie. To Kavanagh. Now on the halfway line, Mark. Tarbuck. Finding Vine. Hookie just dropping back a bit more now. It looks as though he's progressed more to a CDM by the looks of it with Danny Hollins.
Yeah, I think because Gosport can afford to be a little less attacking now and adventurous, they need to be a little bit more secure. We're heading towards the last 10 minutes. They don't want to overextend themselves now. Obviously, if they can get a second and kill the game off, but they don't want to go out all guns blazing looking for it. There's got to be a bit of a balance now.
Well, it has been 32 minutes played here at the AEI Stadium in the second half. As Gosport still leading 1-0, and some other scores on the doors. So we've got Didcot 0, Chesham 0, and Didcot 0, Hungerford 1, and Beaconsfield 0, Chesham 0. But Mason just looking forward a forward pass, playing it out wide to 14 in Jake Cope.
Yeah, Mason's physicality getting the better of Basari there, but that's where he does so well for Sholing. Very physical, fit, strong player.
Probably quite good at this level.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely in a very physical league.
He's actually played higher than that because we had him here at Gosport when we're in the National South.
Oh, wow.
So he has played higher, but his heart has always been with Sholing traditionally. So.
But it's well cut out by Hookie, and Fine can find down Wooden. But bit of a heavy touch, and Mason does well just to keep it back into Sholing possession as he does pass it back to his goalkeeper.
But Wooden's given them something to think about there, because Sholing are now getting to the point where they need to be more adventurous to get something from the game. Gosport need to pick their moment there, but Wooden looking sharp today. He's having a very, very good game for me.
Yeah, definitely. And it's Anderson with the ball in the right-hand channel. Cope searching forward, and he will find Davies. But it's cut out by Hollins. Now Lucy's fine. Finding Basari naked of space, but the referee blows up.
Pulled it back. But I'm not quite sure of the circumstances, but it may be advantage would have helped Gosport there. Basari was away with about 3 yards of space, but the referee's opted to bring us back.
And it looks as though it will be another yellow card.
Yeah, it does.
I think it will be for Anderson. Yep, it will be for Anderson.
So
A lot of Sholing players now on yellows. Need to be careful.
3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 3.
So
Can't afford to lose any more players. But play continues as
Basari
Basari.
10 already through injury. You know, they haven't anybody sent off. But
other than the manager.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, Paul Doswell's a very passionate guy. Knows his stuff inside out, but he does enjoy his football and gets passionate. Didn't agree with the ref. So we go
Yeah.
from there.
And the ball is being played in this left-hand channel near the corner flag as Basari did put a pass into Tarbuck. Now Hollins looking for that forward pass. And he does find Tarbuck, who dances through a number of players by just firing a shot over the crossbar there.
Angle was closing for him. It was getting harder all the time. Got that. So yeah, it was just that the angle was narrowing, so it became harder every sort of pace he took. Didn't think he did too badly, but yeah, the shot was always rising though.
Yeah, didn't really have too many options in the centre either. So really the shot was his only option there.
Yes, and there wasn't enough support arriving for him to pull it back.
Yeah.
So he had to go for goal. Fair play to him.
And the ball is hit out wide trying to find Mason. But Hookie just doing well there to keep hold of it. But Cope wins it back for Sholing. He might actually take a shot here. But yeah, not his finest shot. Probably one he won't want to see.
He had a little bit longer to compose himself there, I think. He'll be disappointed with that. Possibly had another couple of seconds to spare before the defenders arrived. Could have composed himself, but Gosport won't be complaining.
Well, it's 10 minutes left to play here of normal time. As Gosport lead 1-0. And we have heard Chesham is now 1-1. Which is great news for Gosport if they're drawing 1-1. They're dropping points while we're picking up points.
Like I said, local derbies can be notoriously unpredictable.
As the table stands, Gosport are a point behind Chesham with a game in hand, and Gosport's second at the moment.
And Salisbury to play later.
Yeah.
So it's
some
looking
big
very
games in the
favourable.
Southern League today. And it looks as though it's favouring Gosport at the moment. As Davies just keeping hold of the ball and passing it back to goalkeeper Gosney. Downward and trying to put pressure on the goalkeeper, but unable to win anything from it. Now it's Anderson looking for that forward pass. But yet again, Lucy's find as well to win it back for Gosport. Hookie searching forward and he finds Kavanagh. Kavanagh looking for a cross and he's going to ping one back to Basari. And he does say let it run back and it will be a Gosport throw in near the touchline.
So we're just sort of running through it all at the moment because this is what happens on Boxing Day when you've got split kick-off time. So you've got now Gosport a point behind the leader with the game in hand. And Salisbury still to play this afternoon. Winchester might do us a favour, they may not.
Exactly. And it is Tarbuck striding forward. Now Basari on the edge of the box. Finding Vine. Vine, he might go for a shot, but it is blocked. Vine now passing it through to Tarbuck. He's got Kavanagh running in the middle, and that's a brilliant pass. And Kavanagh whips a deep ball in. I think it was originally meant for Lucius Vine, but just unable to get that final touch there.
Yes, Vine arrived just a fraction too late. It was a lovely driven low ball in from the right-hand side from Kavanagh. Vine just that little bit too slow, but I'll tell you what, if he'd have been there, that'd have been 2-0 and game over.
Well, Gosport just looking for that final goal as it's still 1-0 here at the AEI Stadium.
I had to ask the computer.
And it will go out for a Sholing throw-in? Yeah, Sholing throw-in as Cope takes it. McNeil to Cope. Before eventually being cleared. The ball is headed back, originally meant for Mason, but yet again, Morrison does well to clear it out.
Morrison's been outstanding for me today. He has just been calm, composed, assured, and he has done a brilliant job at the back.
Well, he's made sure Mason hasn't actually got into the game, really, hasn't he?
Yes.
Been man marking him, really.
He has actually, you're right, it's a good spot.
Oh, and I think that could be a yellow for Zach Sharp. And you can see, I think that's Cope there who was brought down. Very angry with the foul as he was through on goal there. But it was very needed from Zach Sharp.
I think it'll be a yellow because don't think he was the last man, and I don't think he was clean through, but he's definitely getting booked.
Yeah.
And it was what you call taking one for the team.
Well, we saw one at the other end of the pitch earlier involving Sholing. Now we're seeing one with Gosport, and it will be that yellow card for Zach Sharp. As 30 minutes played, now 39 minutes played here at the AEI Stadium.
Yeah.
As Gosport winning 1-0 thanks to a Samuel Hookie goal.
6 to play. Now it means Sharp needs to be a little bit careful. He's taken one for the team there, tactical foul, taken the yellow for it. Because otherwise, I think that could have been a bit of a dicey situation for Gosport.
Yeah, definitely. Very dangerous. But yet again, this free kick still could be quite dangerous here. As we keep mentioning, there's a lot of big players in the box. You can see, I think that's Morrison marking Mason there. Hookie marking a Mason. But will be Davies with the free kick. Davies just drilling one in. And Mason, good movement there. And just need to. Oh, it's a goal scramble in the centre of the box. And somehow Mason doesn't convert it.
How did that stay out? Gosport will be thanking their lucky stars there, James, without a doubt. I thought that was 1-1.
Well, it looked as though a couple players tumbled over there. And it was a real chance for Sholing to get a goal there.
A lot of hesitancy at the back as well for Gosport. They can't afford to do that too many more times.
Well, it was eventually cleared out. And it will be a Sholing corner. And we won't be hoping for what we just saw there.
No, not from a Gosport perspective.
And it's Davies, yet again, the deadly free kick taker. Davies. And that's a deep free kick. And it does find the head of, I'm not sure who's claiming it.
There's the player literally coming back now, just passing Holland there. We'll get his number in a minute.
Yeah.
He got the header on off target.
I think by the looks of it, it was their defender. I think it could have been Owen Randall Prince.
It was
Number
indeed.
4.
Great-
Yeah, Owen Randall
great
Prince.
spot.
Yeah.
It was indeed Owen Randall, yes.
But he was found at the back post there, just heading it just wide.
The corner was deceptive because it was an in-swinger, and I thought we might have actually just looped in under the bar, but they were obviously looking for the far post, looking for Randall's run, just couldn't get it on target.
Well, 5 minutes left to play here at the AEI Stadium. It's Gosport still winning 1-0.
They are. It's nervy, a little bit nervier than I think Pat and Joe would want it to be. But I tell you what, derby games are very tight affairs
Yeah.
often, and there's not a lot in them.
Yeah.
So Sholing can still get something out of this, but Gosport have got to be careful, and they've got to make good game management decisions at this point with 4 to play.
Well, it will be a deep cross aiming for Mason. Mason just hoping to touch it down, but Morrison clears it. Maybe Dan Wooden might be able to make something for it here,
Yes,
as
he
it's a
might.
brilliant first touch, but a bit of a heavy touch, which sees Mason deliver it back to the goalkeeper.
I'll tell you what, that's great defending from Byron Mason there. He did what he had to do and did it well.
Well, being a real rock at the defence this game, actually now occupying 2 positions, the left back and the centre role now, since the defender actually had to leave due to injury.
Yeah, because they're playing with 10 and they've made all their subs. What they've asked him to do is to basically effectively play at both ends, and he's
Yeah.
done it well.
And Toby Stewart was just needed there to make sure Mason couldn't get on the end of the attack. But now Cope looking for that pass, trying to find Mason, but Mason really unhappy with the lack of communication there. And now Lucy is fine, might be able to break free here. He's got Dan Wooden in the centre. Lucy is fine, finding Dan Wooden. Yet again, it's a heavy toucher. Can Dan Wooden go for goal? He's got Kavanagh with the overlap. Now Kavanagh in acres of space. He's going to whip in a ball. But it's headed out.
James, not his best one really, but Gosport stretching Sholing there, which they need to try and do.
Well, now it's Bissari cutting in, and he might go for goal, but it's needed to tip over. And Jake Scrimshaw just can't get on the end of the ball. Just missed the ball there.
He had the goal at his mercy, Scrimshaw, but I'll give him his due. He had to stretch. The ball was moving away from him at pace. But
Well,
that
yeah.
was on a plate.
They're not going.
I think it was just a bit too high for the attacker there, just narrowly missing him. And yeah, unlucky not to be 2-0 here.
Yeah, Gosport are now knocking on the door. In fact, they're banging loudly on the door, and the second goal now will seal it.
And
With about 90 seconds of normal time to play.
And it will be a Kavanagh late corner. You see movement in the box. Zach making particular movement. And Zach actually did try and get on the end of it, but I did take a nick off of one of the Gosport players, and it will go up for a goal kick.
Yeah.
And I would imagine Sholing want to kind of take it quite quickly now.
They will be in a bit of a hurry, as you would expect them to be, with about a minute left to play, plus the stoppage time period. They're not going to want to mess about too much now, Sholing.
Well, I'm just dreading thinking about that additional time now.
It becomes about game management, James, is what it becomes. What you do, how you do it. Do you take the ball into the corner, or are you more cavalier? We'll see how much comes up, and we'll see how they deal with it.
Yeah, we've seen Pat and Joe's philosophy. And really, they do like searching for that second goal. They don't really like sitting back and defending. Do you think it could be a different case today?
I think they've got to, how do I say it? I think they've got to be done with moderation. Because if you sit back too much, then you're inviting teams to come onto you when they're increasingly desperate. If you try and still give them something to worry about whilst making good management decisions at the back, then... But the ball's about to appear. So
we're about to find out. Sholing just maintaining their possession at the back with Gosney, the goalkeeper.
Here we go.
And we're about to find out the additional time. And it's the number you don't want to see. It's a double digits. 10 minutes added time. So that's normal time done. It's Gosport still winning 1-0 thanks to Sam Hookie goal. But 10 minutes is not what you want to see, is it?
Well, it's the amount of injuries we've had, the amount of bookings we've had, we've seen, and yeah, that's the result of it.
Well, ball has been fed through McNeil, but Kavanagh has had to take him down just outside of the penalty box.
Yeah, he clipped him as he went past, so that would be a free kick. The only bit of good news for Gosport is that's in a slightly sort of
Weird angle, isn't it?
Yeah, the angle's not going to be easy. But again, Kavanagh did what he had to do.
Well, it does look as though Davies is going to be the one taking his free kick. And yeah.
10 added. I know.
And it's going to be Harry Kavanagh and Samuel Hookey in the wall for Gosport.
Having said that, I think it's probably fairly accurate.
Yeah, the referee's still having to have a chat with Kavanagh. I think he was still maybe having a word or two to say, but he made the foul. Get on with it. Play on.
Well, it's Davies with the free kick. Just drilling one in. And I think he might have gone for goal there. And it's a good save from Toby Stewart. I think originally catching him off guard. But now Gosport can counter-attack. Dan Wooden against number 12. And Gosport, Dan Wooden's from goal. He's got past the goalkeeper. He's surely going to finish it. Oh, but the flag's going up for... Oh.
That, I thought, was going to be...
Well, Dan Wooden, I don't think he even know what went on there.
Questioning it, to be fair, I didn't really get a good look at that if that was
No.
offside. But for me,
No.
but the linesman's called it, and I'll tell you what, that would have been, he had all the time in the world just to
Exactly.
slot that in.
Probably should have got it a bit earlier, really.
It's a let off for Sholing,
Yeah.
no doubt about it.
Oh, but Sholing are coming through on numbers before Kavanagh headers it away. Can Danny Hollins actually clear it? No, he can't. But Morrison just brute forcing both of them.
And I tell you what, yet again, not a foot wrong there from Joe.
And now it will be played out wide to Jake Scrimshaw.
Here he
Jake
goes.
Scrimshaw striding forward in his right-hand channel.
Yeah,
Passing it
Gosport,
back to Hookey.
they need to support him a bit more.
Hookey into Scrimshaw. Scrimshaw perhaps looking for a cross, but just loses the ball there. And now Cope to McLean. Cope again. And Sam Hookey just trying to get the charge down, and he does force the poor cross, which Morrison can get hold of. He does head it to Vine. Played on to Sam Hookey. Basari now. Was involved really bigly with the first goal. Can he do anything with this? Basari. He's going to go for goal, but yet again, straight at Gosney.
Yeah, on target, but it was easy for the keeper there. But nice to see Billy feeling confident enough to have a go. The angle was awkward, but
Yeah. Well, he's had a couple of goes at goal this effort, and he wasn't heavily involved with the first goal. Pretty good first debut for him.
yes, I think since he's come on, he's given Gosport a new dimension. But for me, man of the match for Gosport today, Joe Morrison.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that one.
Without a doubt. Without him being out there, James, I think this game might have turned out a little differently to how it already has.
Well, yeah, definitely. We saw him against Walton and Hersham last week, and yet again, another really good performance. He did mention how he wanted to jump through the leagues, and maybe he might just do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think first of all, what he's done is he's replaced Charlie Wassmer, which I think nobody really has with any serious presence since Charlie was injured.
Well, the thing I like about Joe Morrison is he's always looking for that forward ball. He's quite a modern defender in that aspect.
Yeah, well, the game's evolved. I mean, I'm old enough to remember just your absolute out-and-out stopper of a central defender, but the game's not like that. So defenders these days, they play out more, they're more confident, they're always looking to get somebody away. Gone are the days of the out-and-out chopper, the stopper that you used to see in the 90s and the 80s.
Well, we're just approaching in the 49th minute here at Privet Park. It's Gosport still leading 1-0 thanks to a Sam Hookey goal. And it will be a free kick, which Toby Stewart will take. Trying to find Dan Wooden, but instead finding Mason, who clears it out. Kavanagh just putting it back into the danger zone. Now Hollins trying to get hold of the ball, but just unable to do it there. Can Tarbuck get it back? And he does just do that.
Yeah.
And Cheshire have got a goal in added time, unfortunately. But it is Lucy's Fine in this left-hand channel, who is tripped.
That's a foul. Or is the referee just getting the throw?
It was Mason with the trip. I would imagine it would be a free kick on that far
I would
side.
like to think so, but yeah, that's bad news in terms of Cheshire getting a late goal, but that's the quality they have this season, and that's why they are where
exactly.
they are. But yeah, we're just over halfway through the added 10 minutes now. We've got about 5 to go. So Gosport have the chance now with this throw in to maybe try and find that second and wrap it up.
Well, I think it is Basari on that far side near the corner flag. Unable to keep hold of the ball, and Sholing will try and clear their lines now.
I'm beginning to think that was by choice, actually. He's taken it into the corner and they tried to
Just trying to play for time
Yeah, but
almost.
you've still got 4 minutes of it left. I think
Yeah.
that's still a dangerous strategy at this point.
And Kavanagh just trying to get on the end of the ball and does well to keep hold of it. And he will try and find Jake Scrimshaw, but instead finding the feet of Randall Prince. And I think that may be a goal kick, yeah.
Oh no, he's changed his mind. He's
Wow. I'm quite shocked at that.
Yeah, the referee indicated the goal kick initially, and then he changed his mind and went for the corner. Sholing quizzically looking at him, but not really protesting. Although
I think
Byron Mason's
Mason,
questioning
yeah.
it, yeah. But my initial gut reaction there was goal kick, but the referee has changed his mind. So it's another chance for Gosport.
And you do look as though the Sholing players, their heads are starting to drop a bit now. Maybe starting to give up in the final minutes.
I don't know. It's only 1-0, and they've got 3 minutes to do something about it.
And it's going to be a short corner. And I think, like you said, they're just keeping it in that far corner.
It's now become about game management.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is shades of Welling United all over again.
Yeah, just can't afford to really replicate that game.
No, because that was Alex Barter who made the wrong call in that particular game, and Welling nicked it off him and went on to equalise. So you would like to think that the team as a collective have learned from those mistakes earlier in the season. Goal kick now, though.
And I'm sure Gosney will be hoping to take a quick goal kick here. And you can see the Sholing players just marching forward here. 2 minutes left to play. Gosport still winning 1-0 thanks to a goal from Sam Hookey. Ball will play. Oh, Zach Sharp just does well enough there to get hold of the ball, heading it forward. Now Basari on the move. He's got Mason with a charge down. But Basari doing really well to keep hold of the ball. Passing it back to Lucius Fine. Lucius Fine cutting into the middle.
Yeah, they're not being too adventurous at this point, Gosport. We're into the final 90 seconds of the added 10 minutes now, James. So I think they're settling for the 1-0, but they just can't make any mistakes.
Well, it is Lucius Fine who has got through a number of players. Lucius Fine looking for that player in the box, but a few step overs, and yet again taking too long.
He wanted too much time.
And
look at this at the other end now.
Good work from Morrison and Toby Stewart there. You can see them just sandwiching each other just to make sure Mason can get hold of that ball there.
I'd like to have seen Lucius just sort of ping that across, because you had Wooden arriving at the far post, but just hesitated and allowed Sholing to get the counter-attack moving. But here go Gosport again, look.
Well, you can see Pat and Joe on the touchline there, just ordering the players to move forward.
Got to now.
Try and keep the ball in their half.
We've got a minute of the stoppage time period to go. So this is where it gets edgy now.
And Tarbuck with loose foot there, nearly losing the ball, but does well to recover it.
Again, I'm not sure that was the wise thing to do, but Toby Stewart, as he normally does, very unflappable, launches the ball forward.
And now Samuel Hookey, Jake Scrimshaw, feeding the ball through to Harry Kavanagh. And yet again, I think he's just going to keep it by here. He's playing the ball through to Scrimshaw, but instead cut out by Randall Prince. And it will be a Gosport throw-in. Very deep Gosport throw-in, I must say.
I make it about 30 seconds to go now, James, if the added 10 minutes. So,
well, Gosport's still winning 1-0. Let's see if they can keep hold of this 1-0 lead.
Sorry, I'd say about a minute, actually. Sorry, about a minute.
Now Scrimshaw, you can see just shielding the ball there, and that is the game tactic by the looks of it, just keeping it in that corner.
Got to do it now.
But now they're exposed. Too many players in that corner. Maybe they can break through here. But Sam Hookey's still doing really well. Another player who I think has been fabulous today.
Yes, Hookey's looked very, very assured again today. And imagine the confidence boost that will give him if that does transpire to be the winning goal.
And then the foul is given to Sholing there after a push from Billy Basari on Davies.
Little bit of gamesmanship from Billy there as well, because he just stopped him from taking a quick free kick. We have got 30 seconds of stoppage time.
And this is really last-ditch attacking here.
For Sholing now.
And it's going to be Gosney with the goal kick. Well, not goal kick, free kick. Probably not as deep as he would have planned as Morrison clears it. But Dan Wooden just unable to find the ball there. is trying to get on the end of the ball. Can Dan Wooding get to it? And there is a push on him.
He was watching for the offside because he didn't want to get caught again. And then when he realised he's offside, he's onside, he made the run, but it was too late. Ball had gone. But still, I
killed a
think
few seconds.
that is it. That is your
Surely,
10
yeah.
minutes
Done,
up.
yeah.
Oh, the other team's management not happy. But Danny Hollins just searching for that forward ball yet again, but finding Basari. And that is a full-time whistle. Gosport take the 3 points against their local rivals. As usual, the Blue remains dominant in Hampshire as the Blue are victorious over their rivals in Sholing, thanks to one goal from Samuel Hookie. And what a game it was in the end. The Samuel Hookie goal was the difference. We don't usually see the Hookie goal, but in the end, a really good game. Samuel Hookie, probably one of the players in the match, along with Joe Morrison. His first home debut here at the AEI Stadium. And what a vital 3 points that could be. And the full-time whistle. Gosport 1, Sholing 0. And Jeremy, what did you make of that game then?
Totally typical local derby, James. I think it went as I thought because traditionally games between Gosport and Sholing have been tight, 1 goal, 2 maybe in it. Yeah, Gosport did what they had to do and they did it well, especially at the end. They managed the game well, didn't take risks. Morrison at the back, outstanding. Sholing, I think, are going to upset a few teams in this league. And I think you're going to see more of them in the second half of the season as they sort of transit into the team Doswell wants them to be. For me, it's a good 3 points and even better, and 1,000+ attendance.
Yeah, well, things you want to see and a great return after Christmas. We hope to see you in the next game. But final words from us, up the borough.